Let's get started reading our passage about sharks. Remember, we are going to be focused on comparing and contrasting two different types of sharks. Let's get started. Did you know there are over 350 types of sharks? Two of the most common are the great white shark and the hammerhead shark. These sharks, and all sharks, belong to a group of fish that do not have bones. Instead, their bodies are supported by cartilage, which is softer and more flexible than bone. Let's go ahead and circle the two types of sharks we're going to be comparing and contrasting today. We have the great white shark and the hammerhead shark. We can also go ahead and write them on our graphic organizer. These sharks, and all sharks, belong to a group of fish that do not have bones. Instead, their bodies are supported by cartilage, which is softer and more flexible than bone. Their skin is very rough. It is so rough, in fact, that it has been used as sandpaper. Sharks have the same senses that we have, so that's our seeing, our tasting, our smelling. However, their senses of sight, smell, and hearing are much stronger than ours. While both the great white and the hammerhead are sharks, they have many differences. Remember, when we're comparing and contrasting, we will see similarities and differences. The next section is going to be all about the great white shark. Let's go ahead and circle great white shark, or box it, and then I'm also going to draw a bracket around both sides of the paragraph so that we know that this whole paragraph is about the great white shark. Let's get reading. The great white shark is at the top of the food chain. Once it becomes an adult, often preying on sea mammals such as sea lions. As an adult, great white sharks can weigh in at more than 4,500 pounds. Wow! Let's circle that. But sharks don't start off at the top of the food chain. Baby sharks, or pups, must avoid other predators for their first year of life, including other great white sharks. Some pups don't live past a year because of the predators. The next section will be all about the hammerhead shark, and I'm going to box hammerhead shark, and I'm going to bracket this paragraph because the whole paragraph is about hammerhead sharks. The hammerhead shark is much different than the great white shark. For starters, its head is shaped like a rectangle. So go ahead and underline different. That's a little context clue, and it gave our brains a little clue that, hey, something that the great white shark doesn't have is coming up, because that means it's different. So how is it different? Its head is shaped like a rectangle. Let's go ahead and write that. Under hammerhead, the shape of their head allows them to trap their favorite meal, stingrays. So their head is actually an adaptation, which is something that helps them capture their prey. Their eyes are located on the sides of their head, which allow for them to easily scan the ocean quicker than other species of sharks can. So let's write that under difference, scan the ocean faster than any other shark. Even though stingrays are their favorite meal, they also eat bony fish, crab, lobster, and other sea creatures. These sharks only weigh in at about 500 pounds. So we can write that, and if we go outside, it's okay. We're going to write, they weigh 500 pounds, while the great white weighs 4,500 pounds. Wow. Now you're going to notice that for the graphic organizer, I wrote in the numbers for their weight, but if I were writing a paragraph, I would make sure to spell out those numbers. These pups, just like the great white shark pups, have to worry about predators when they are first born. I'm going to highlight that in yellow so that it stands out and so that we can easily see the similarity. And the words "just like" give my brain a clue that, hey, some type of similarity is coming up. Pups have to worry about predators. Once they are adults, they do not have many predators though, probably because they're bigger and they can defend themselves. Many people are afraid of all types of sharks because of the attacks. While great white sharks have attacked people, the hammerhead is not known for its attacks on people. The hammerhead shark is dangerous, just like, oh, there's that word, those words, just like a great white shark, but not as aggressive. So they are both dangerous. And I'm going to write that in the center where our similarities go. They're both dangerous. I don't know about you, but I sure don't want to ever have a close encounter with a shark. So how else are the great white sharks different from the hammerhead sharks? One thing we read towards the beginning is that they are at the top of the food chain. Let's go ahead and add that. So our summary statement is our overall statement for the text. We're going to consider our standard and the text that we've read while we create our summary statement. Let's start with the article titled Sharks describes many differences and similarities among great white sharks and hammerhead sharks. The article titled Sharks describes many differences and similarities among great white sharks and hammerhead sharks. That's all for today. Great job, and I'll see you next time.